Oh hey guys, didn't see you sneak in there. Trevor here, your total wellness coach, with another edition of Wellness Wednesday. And today I want to talk to you guys about mobility and warming up, right? Warming up meaning getting ready for an activity that you're about to do, whether it's running, lifting, snowboarding, whatever it may be, okay? Warming up helps you to avoid injury, helps improve your performance. And think of it like a cold rubber band, right? You find a cold rubber band on the ground, go to stretch it, and it'll snap. Whereas if that rubber band is in your pocket and it's nice and warm, it can stretch and retract. And while your muscles are a little more complex in a rubber band, the same principle is applied. And so a lot of people ask, what's better, static stretching or dynamic stretching? Static stretching being when you hold one stretch for an extended period of time to lengthen the muscle. Dynamic stretching or a dynamic warm-up means you're activating the muscle group which you're going to be using in your activity through things like air squats or lunges or maybe a light jog if you're going to go on a longer run. Those kind of things to get your muscles ready to perform the activity in which you're going to do. And studies actually show that the dynamic stretching is better all around. It helps improve range of motion. It helps improve your mental game, gets you mentally prepared for the activity which you're going to perform, and then it helps to decrease your chance of injury. You know, injuries happen and it's never going to be perfect, but it helps to decrease the chance of injury if you do a dynamic versus a static stretch. Static stretching has its place, we'll talk about that in a moment, but more for things like a cool down after your activity. It's good to get a nice static stretch. But basically with the dynamic stretching or the warm-up, it'll be determined by the activity you're going to be doing. For example, if you're going to throw a bunch of plates on your back and do some heavy squats, you want to warm up with some air squats or some lunges without weight to really get those muscles activating. And there's a lot of other things you can do based on whether or not you have recovering injuries or if you have tight muscles in certain areas. And so you can focus on those, like, for example, if you sit a lot at work, right? You can see here the frontal plane, or the anterior portion of your body, especially your hips, gets nice and tight. So doing things to open that up, like nice big deep lunges to help open up that hip area, are a real good idea right before you do an activity. And another key to a dynamic warm-up is to go light, be controlled, and we want to warm up and not burn out. So you don't want to overdo it with weight. You know, you don't want to, if you're going to do some bench press, you don't want to get right after it with some heavy weight to warm up, because then you're going to burn out and you won't hit that top weight that you're probably looking for. And so back to static stretching, like I said, with the if you get some tight hips from sitting too much, you can use static stretching either after your workout or your run or on your days off to really help increase the length of those muscles that get tightened day after day when you're just sitting all the time. Personally, I recommend getting a standing desk, but if, like I said earlier, if it's not in the cards, you can do some stretching moves. The other thing is static stretching actually helps to lengthen the muscle fibers and the tendons around them. And the looser that these fibers and tendons and everything are, the more you can increase the muscle size during strength training. So stretching actually helps your strength training too in the long run, so that's cool. To kind of wrap things up here, I want to give you guys an action step, something you can do before your next workout is make sure you incorporate a dynamic warm-up before your next activity. So if you're going to go for a run, maybe do some lunges before you go for that run instead of just grabbing your leg and counting to 10. Do some air squats. Anything you can do to activate the muscles that you think you're going to be using in that activity is really going to help you to do all those things we talked about earlier. You know, help reduce injury, extend your range of motion, improve your performance, and so on. And if you guys have any questions or you want some tips about anything in specific to warming up or some dynamic stretches or even static stretches for some of those tight, bothersome areas, feel free to comment, shoot me a message, email me, whatever you want to do. And if you like this video, as always, feel free to like it, share it, comment, whatever. Just get it out there to your friends if you found it valuable and a little bit of entertainment. Who knows? But until next week, I'll see you guys, and happy Wednesday.